What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So we're over here on top of the big reactor that I kind of framed out a little while ago. I've been slowly making blocks and slowly filling in all the stuff for it. But yeah, I finally got this last wall completed over here. Let's get out of the F5 mode. Yeah, I finally got this wall completed. So we have, well, almost have a complete big reactor frame. We still have the smaller big reactor in the center here. I need to deconstruct this, get rid of the liquid ender in there. And then, yeah, we need to figure out how many yellorium fuel rods we need for this particular reactor, the design that we're going to use, and all of the other stuff, the coolant and all of this, how much we need. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a big project. I'm looking forward to doing this. I did set out a magnum torch over here, by the way. The one we have over the base doesn't quite reach over here, and when I was working at nighttime, we had, like, you know, creepers and things nearby, and I was like, nope, I don't want them blowing up my stuff. So, yeah, magnum torch here. So there is a second one nearby our base. So yeah, like I said, we need to come in here and take apart our big reactor. Yeah, we now have unlimited fuel for it, and I currently have all that stuff, the that bedrockium drum full of the Blutonium. I have that moved over to Wellington Towers. There's some weird thing when you are casting like molten stuff in Tinker's Construct. Yeah, when you're taking that, putting the fluid into like a casting basin and waiting for it to turn into a block and then refilling it, I get like this weird FPS stutter, and it really starts feeling like it's affecting the frame rate a lot. So yeah, I just want that like out of the render distance for nearby our base and things. So yeah, I filled up the bedrockium drum completely full of Blutonium, and now I'm draining it out, casting it into blocks, and I'm putting all those blocks into a deep storage unit. But anyway, in the meantime, I wanted to get this reactor all hooked up. Now, I turned this reactor off a little while ago, so this hasn't been doing anything for, you know, a decent amount of time. We only had like 29 yellorium ingots in here. I think we had something like 30,000 yellorium ingots processed. So we might start off with the yellorium and then switch over to the Blutonium. Or I don't really know for sure what we're doing just yet. But yeah, let me go ahead and take a moment to knock out all this stuff. Yeah, some of these items are probably going to get teleported away because of the resident ender down there. Yeah, I need to get myself a drum. I need to bucket all of that ender out of there. Like I said, deconstruct this whole thing, get the rest of the floor put in, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so I took apart the smaller reactor, and yeah, now I'm looking at trying to get a little bit more of this resident ender. 20 buckets is definitely not going to be enough for what we need, so we're going to do a little bit of just very, very simple stuff here. So yeah, the backside of our Magma Crucible needs to be set to an input, like so. And then we'll put the export bus on there with an ender pearl, and we'll put one acceleration card because I'm too lazy to make a second one. So anyway, yeah, our Magma Crucible should now be crucibling this stuff. Now I'm kind of surprised actually that this translocator is not working. The top side is set to, you know, whatever. Maybe I just have to set this to the export. Yeah, there we go. All right, now it's sucking it out. Yeah, I thought if this was on the no color channel, it'd pull from whatever inventory was available, but I guess it just doesn't work with liquids? I don't know. So anyway, yeah, we are now melting down all of the ender pearls into resident ender that's being sucked up into this drum right here, and we will have plenty of this for coolant. I would also like to look at making some of the liquid cryothium. I don't know how much we're going to need, so I guess we need to figure that out. I do know, though, that we need like a bunch of the yellorium fuel rods. These thingies right here. Yeah, and each one of those requires a pellet of RTG fuel, which is dense iron plate and plutonium. It looks like we don't have enough dense iron plates to make one, so we're going to have to make a bunch of these. So a dense iron plate is that 9 iron plates? Yeah, so 9 iron plates compressed once again. A dense iron plate, so we need a lot of iron here. Okay, my inventory is kind of full. I guess I should place all these blocks back in the newer big reactor. Yeah, we might do that. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. All right. Well, let me go and clear my inventory out and get some things sorted, and we will look at making all those fuel rods and how we're going to place those and things like this. All right, guys, so this is the way the reactor is set up right now. These are all the different Yellorium fuel rods that I had. So I kind of laid these down in just a small pattern to kind of get a feel for how many we're going to need, how we're going to lay them out, things like that. So with this many right here, there's 6 rows of 6 and there is 5 rows of 5, I think is how that is. And this is 8 blocks tall. So yeah, we're gonna need like 427 more Yellorium fuel rods, I think is the number that I came up with. That's quite a lot to fill just that in. And that's not even, you know, where I want it. I want it to like be 3 more blocks out over here, right? So we have 3 blocks of space between the fuel rods and the outer wall. Otherwise, we're just kind of wasting space. So anyway, like that's 427 more Yellorium fuel rods that we need to make this all the way to the ceiling. Yeah. That is quite a lot. So I was doing the math on here, and the plutonium that we need to make that many is 1,281. I'm not sure if we have that much plutonium. Let's actually go back to the base real quick. I didn't even look at this. Yeah, we have enough plutonium for that, so that isn't an issue, but we would be almost out with all the RTG fuel that we have to make. Not only that, we need 2,562 dense iron plates. So that's a lot of crafting, just making iron into dense iron. But that turns out to be 23,058 iron ingots. Yeah, just for that little bit that we have right there that's not even fully sized out. So I think what we might do, we might scale this back a little bit. I knew the reactor was going to be large, and I knew it was going to be kind of tall, which would make it even larger, but I think we might cut that in half. We might make it 4 blocks tall instead of 8 blocks tall on the inside, or maybe even like 2 blocks tall. And then what we can do is just make it bigger, or we can make it taller every time we want to increase the reactor. I think that's where we might go. But at this point, I think it is too big for the amount of resources that we have. Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd give you guys an update on that. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the size of the reactor itself. I'm going to make it shorter, like I said. I'll probably fill out the rest of those fuel rods, and we will continue on. All right, guys, so I got all the fuel rods laid out, how we're going to do this, and we're only making these 2 fuel rods tall right now, which is about 1/4 of the size is what we were going to do originally, or at least what I was thinking about doing originally. Yeah, so this is quite a bit smaller. So there's like a total of, what is that, 290 Yellorium fuel rods in here? Yeah, really expensive stuff, guys, and it takes forever, even with those IC2 machines, like fully upgraded or whatever, so they can make the plates super fast. Yeah, even with all that stuff going on, it still takes a very long time to make that many dense iron plates. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there we go. Now the next step is to fill this in full of stuff. I think what we're going to do is fill in the sides full of the liquid Enderium, and the center is going to be full of Cryo-Theum. Yeah, so every one of these between the fuel rods, we want Cryo-Theum in there, and that is a lot of in between those fuel rods. I don't know exactly how many that is. I should probably count that up real quick and figure out how many source blocks we need, and then also figure out, you know, how many pieces of dust that's going to cost and all of that stuff. So I guess that's the next part, is to do a bit more math, figure that all out. I know we do have niter, and, well, I was going to warp back to the base, but I need to do this counting. Yeah, I know we do have niter from, what was it, pulverizing sandstone earlier on in the series. Yeah, so we have like 6,000 pieces of niter, so we should be able to make a decent amount of the Cryo-Theum. But anyway, let me go ahead and count this up, figure out how much we need, figure out how much of the dust we need to craft, and then get all that done, and we'll be back. All right, guys, so I was doing some math and figuring out what we needed to do. It looks like we need 224 buckets of the gelid Cryo-Theum. Now, we could set up an RF Tools world full of the gelid Cryo-Theum and, you know, suck it all out. I don't believe we have the dimlet right now, so we'd have to go through the whole process of making that dimlet. Anyway, I think that's just too much work for what we're doing right now. Maybe in the future, if we expand the reactor out much bigger, and we need a whole heck of a lot of that stuff. We'll take a look at it. But yeah, 224 buckets is what we need. So in order to get gelid cryothium, yeah, we need to get the cryothium dust. Yeah, we need this stuff right here. So 1 cryothium dust turns into 1/4 of a bucket. So we need 4 of these to make 1 bucket of the gelid cryothium. So we're gonna need 896 of these little guys in order to do what we need to do. Yeah, that's like 14 stacks. Okay, so 14 stacks of the cryothium dust, which means we need, I think that's 4, 6, 4, I don't know, I'm not gonna do math. 56 stacks of snowballs. Anyway, yeah, this is the redstone that we have. It needs 2 millibuckets, or I'm sorry, 2 redstone dust, 200 millibuckets of redstone infused into a snowball to make, maybe I haven't mathed this correctly. To make the blizz powder, yeah, we need this stuff. We don't have any blizz rods. We don't have a blizz rod spawner. I think I might have captured a blizz at some point. We could spawn it, but anyway, yeah, that's just gonna be a lot. Saltpeter we have under control. We just need this blizz powder. So the next step is we need to set up this Magma Crucible here. So not outputting to the top, it's gonna output to the side. We're gonna put in snowballs. We're gonna infuse that with redstone. This going where it needs to be? Yep. So we're gonna infuse snowballs with redstone to make blizz powder so I can make the cryothium. Yeah, this is gonna be a process. I might set up some kind of way to automate it. The biggest problem though is that these stupid snowballs, they only stack to 16. Why do they only stack to 16? Like, why is that a thing? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna take a minute for me to do this. I need to melt down a whole lot of redstone, infuse a whole lot of snowballs, make a whole lot of the blizz powder, then make the cryothium, then melt all that stuff down. Yep, we'll be back, guys. Whew, that took a moment to do, but yeah, we got 224 buckets of cryothium. Is that how much we needed? I can't remember now. It's been a while. So anyway, here we go. Here is some cryothium. I'm just going to kind of drop it right there in the center, and I'm going to bucket it out into each individual one of these things. Now, the cryothium does have gravity, so it sinks. You can't just fill up the top block and let it flow down, because eventually the source block will drop. And yeah, then you'll be left with an empty spot on the top, an airspace. So yeah, we definitely do not want that. So I have to fill in each and every one of these, 2 buckets per. It's not that bad. It'll just take me a few minutes to do this. But as far as the rest of the area goes over here, yeah, this is a lot of space to put in the resonant ender. And I really don't want to do that by hand. So I think we're going to end up using the floodgate. I think that's what we're going to do. I'll probably do like a layer of dirt along the bottom or something like that. We'll fill it all in so like the top layer is completely full. Then we'll remove the dirt from the bottom. I think that's how that's going to work. It's been a while since I've done that sort of stuff, so I guess we will do that together. But yeah, let me go ahead and first of all, get all the gelid cryothium into this thing, and we'll be back, guys. Oh my goodness, guys, this is taking so long. I was actually pretty pleased that I placed all of that gelid cryothium without misclicking a single one. Yeah, because you can click a source block into another one, you lose it, and I did not do that. So I didn't have to go and make any more. Yeah, pretty happy about that. All right, so right now we're laying down a dirt floor, obviously. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be using the BuildCraft floodgate to lay out a bunch of the resonant ender, because there is a lot that we need to place. I can't remember if that is a quick way of doing it or if it's just slow and it just does it automatically so it's better. I guess we'll figure that out here in a moment. But yeah, we just need to get this dirt floor down for now. So we have a place for all of the resonant ender to sit on. Cool. So that's what we're looking like right now. Awesome. Oh, and now it's actually making snow. I was wondering, I can't remember, but I thought before when I placed the gelid cryothium down like that, it would place snow all over the top of the big reactor. Maybe it just doesn't place on glass, or maybe they changed it so it doesn't place, 2 blocks above it. Either way, that works for me. Okay, so now the next step, we need to make ourselves a gate. The floodgate. Let's check out the recipe for this thing. So a floodgate from a BC factory. That is 4 silver gears. I don't think I have, yeah, so silver. Let us get a half a stack. And is that the gear? I can't tell what this thing is. Okay, yeah, so that's the gear. We'll do that. We'll turn that on. We'll put the silver in there. We'll just make a bunch of silver gears. Okay, so we need the silver gears, some iron, and a pump. But the pump is some tanks from open blocks. Let's make 2 of those. And some iron gears. I think we have... No, we don't even have iron gears. Okay. Iron. We're going to do the same thing. Half a stack. Silver and iron. I do not think mix in the smeltery. We need 1 more ingot in there. That's fine. Actually, you know what I'll do? I will go down here and remove 3 of these iron ingots. Stop clicking the wrong things. There we go. So we should make an even amount of the different materials. Okay. All right. So iron gears, pump, quartz fluid pipe, quartz transport pipe, block of quartz. Oh my goodness. Don't have very much quartz and we're using like the last of it for this silly little thing. Pipe sealant is cactus green. Looks like we do have some of that. So that is pretty cool. There you go. There's a quartz fluid pipe. Crafting AE is so good. How did I live without this? So basic machine casing. There's that guy. And I think we need to make... What are we missing on the sides there? Isn't that redstone? Hold on a second. So why did the redstone not automatically fill in there? I don't know. IC2 crafting sometimes does not work the way you think it should. Mining pipe. Tree tap. I think we need to make like 3 or 4 or 5 of those. I don't know. I'll just make a few just so we don't run out during this crafting. Oh, you know what? That gives us 8 of those, doesn't it? Okay, so I guess we didn't need that many. Whoops, and I just made yet another one. Goodness. Okay, mining pipe. There's that. We got everything. There's a pump. Let me do this. And... No, wait. Oh, this turns into another pump. That's right. Okay, so now we gotta just wait on these gears to be crafted. What do we got? We have iron gears. We have silver gears. We have those blocks of iron, I think, from last episode. We should have everything now. So there's the BC factory pump, and there is the floodgate. Awesome. Okay, so that is all done. Now, I can't remember if this just pipes directly out of like a drum if we sit on top, or if we need to pipe into it. I bet we need to pipe into it. So let us grab liquid translocators, resonant ender drum. Okay, I think we should be good to fill that all in, full of the resonant ender. Yeah, those translocators, my goodness. I don't know why I never really messed with them before. I guess I just assumed they're kind of like a gimmicky thing and there was really no point. But yeah, they do seem to be pretty good. Now, I can't remember if this place is at the same level as the floodgate, or... I guess I'll try right here. I can't remember if a place is below it or if a place is at the same level and below it. So anyway, let's put the liquid translocator right there. We'll put the drum right like so, and the other translocator right like that. And there we go. We're piping into it. It did something. Okay, so it looks like it places at the same level as itself. Now, I can't remember how far out this goes, if it's only like a 3x3 in front of it, or if it just keeps going until it can't go any further. Well, either way, this is definitely better than me having to click this and place each and every individual source block. All right, well, let's let this thing go for a little bit, and we'll be back, guys. Well, I thought that drum was full, and it didn't place it everywhere along here, and I was kind of trying to figure out where it all went. I forgot that it opened up a little spot here in the wall where I was originally walking back and forth and stuff, and I never filled that back in. So yeah, now we got resonant ender over here, and then flows down like so, and we got more resonant ender. You can see that's not flowing right there. That is actual source blocks. And that keeps flowing down here. Yep. So I got a mess to clean up. All right, guys. Well, let me go ahead and bucket all that stuff back into the drum. Finish up what we're doing here. I don't know how I am going to get that translocator back on there. I guess I'll have to remove some of the wall. Because if I go into here, it like warps me away, so I can't place it back. Anyway, yeah, I'll figure that out. We'll get this all cleaned up and we'll be right back, guys. So yeah, I'm just about to collect the very last of it. I think there might be 4 more source blocks over there. Oh my goodness, guys. So far, 122 buckets I've had to collect of this resonant ender that just kind of got poured everywhere. I think there's just a few more left. And yeah, you can't get really close to the stuff. If you touch it, you get warped away. And that's just a real pain. Are we almost done? Is this the last one? One more. Think we got it. Think we got it. 126 bucket mistake. Yeah, all that grass will eventually grow back, I hope. Anyway, let's continue on getting this thing all floodgated in. Okay guys, so I got the big reactor all hooked up. The next thing is we need to give it some fuel, and I'm trying to figure out how we want to get this plutonium into the reactor. I'm thinking compacting drawers. I don't want to put it in blocks at a time. I'd rather convert it into ingots and have those ingots go in at a time. So compacting drawers, if we put that down and we fill that full of these guys, oh, I guess we need the upgrade in order to put more in there. Yeah, we can get the ingots out this way. Now, I've never tried piping out of ingots directly out of one of these things. I don't know how you can do that. I assume if we use something like, I don't know, the like an item duct with a servo, and then we set a filter. Is that a way you can do it? I've never done this before. So let's grab a chest real quick. Let's figure this out. So we do a chest right like that, the item duct, the servo. We're going to say whitelist only that. And we'll just say just do one at a time, just so we're not like converting it all really quickly. Ignored. Yes, so you can in fact pull out the ingots. Now, if we get rid of that filter, we turn this to a blacklist. Yeah, then we get the blocks out. Okay, so you can do either or with these things. So I was going to use a translocator, but I don't think there's a way that we can tell this to filter a certain item. So yeah, I think we will, in fact, use the regular item ducts. Let's go and turn this off. All right, let's get rid of that, and we'll put all these things back into the compacting drawer. And then however many more can fit in there. Okay, so we're going to want the emerald upgrade, one of those. All right, so it's got all of that in there. Yeah, it's got quite a lot of the plutonium. 1,400 blocks. We still got 6,000 more that's been created. And I don't think it's even touched like half of that bedrockium drum yet. So anyway, we have that. We can pipe out. We know how to do that. Let's grab some packing tape. And I don't know what we're going to do with the cyanide. I think we might need some of that for like the turbines or whatever later on. I know you can manually create the cyanide, but we still got to do something with it. We have to, yeah, remove it from the system anyway. So I guess I'll just do another compacting drawer. Yep, we'll do that. I guess we'll use item translocator. Craft up one of those. Okay, so we should be good to go. Let's go and break this. We'll bring that over. So I haven't fired this reactor up. And I haven't really done anything with this new design online. I know there's like the big reactor simulator things that'll tell you how much you get out of one of these. We have not done that yet. All right, so we want this guy set up right like this. We'll grab one ingot. Servo. Whoa, that's a weird place to put that servo. That's not where I wanted it. Get back here. All right, so servo there. This, whitelist. We'll do stack at a time. That is fine. And ignored. So I should just be piping all that stuff in there. Looks like we had just a little bit of a lag spike for some reason. I'm not sure why. So how are we doing on the fuel? So each stack brings this up like 6%. Okay. Definitely need a lot of fuel to keep this thing completely full. And there we go. We can get up to 100% using those ingots. Yeah, if you do blocks at a time, it'll only do 9 ingots at a time, basically. So it has to wait until there's enough room for 9 ingots worth of fuel. And yeah, you just don't get as much efficiency as if you do it with the ingot. So anyway, we want this compacting drawer here. This is set to output. We'll put the item translocator like that. There we go. That should be fine. Anything else before we fire this thing up? I don't think so. We have fuel in there. I think it is time to turn this thing on and see how much power this thing does make. Man, that's a lot of power. That is a lot of power. Cool. So we are making 135,000 RF per tick from this guy. That is a lot. So how are we doing on the fuel usage? Yeah, the reactivity, this is good. It's lower, what does it say? Higher levels of radiation reduce fuel burnup. Yeah, so the higher the reactivity, the less fuel is used. We're using 11.8 millibuckets per tick. So we should be able to see like these ingots constantly going in, maybe once every couple of seconds. There's one. So how long between ingots at 11 millibuckets? I'm not sure. I guess 5 seconds or so. That's what it looks like. Okay. Well, we have this Tesseract hooked up. This is on channel 999. So this is sending to our batteries back at the base. So we don't have to do anything. All we have to do is just leave this on. Yeah, I definitely want to get this thing full. And then we're going to have to set up a way to automatically keep this thing full in the future. So all the liquid plutonium to plutonium blocks, that needs to go to this drawer somehow. Yeah, we'll figure that all out in the future. All right, guys, so I just wrote a small little computer program. Actually, I kind of reused some of code that I used before, but I had to modify it a little bit. So yeah, I just made myself just a basic computer. I've named it Power, and yeah, it's just sitting right in front of a computer port here. So the way this program is going to work is when the energy buffer drops below 1 million, it will put all the control rods to 0, and then that should, make this thing go full blast. Once it gets above 9 million, it'll set all the control rods to 100, and I think that makes it go or shut off essentially. Either way, I can't remember which way those control rods work. It always confuses me. So if we just type in power here, whoop, power tab, there we go. You can see it says charging current energy. Now it's gaining. And if we come over here, we can see this thing gets full really quickly, and then this thing shuts off. So yeah, I just figured, we should be a little bit more efficient with this thing. This isn't perfect, though. I mean, ideally, what I'd like to do is have this thing adjust the control rod so it's always keeping the power like in the center here. If it starts rising, lower the amount of fuel we're using. If it starts lowering, increase the amount of fuel. But right now, yeah, we just fill it all the way up and then we turn it off. That's pretty much essentially how this thing is working at the moment. But yeah, we do have like a little display right here that'll say what it's doing and all of that. The last piece of this puzzle I do need to do is just edit like startup, and then do like os dot, no, it's shell dot run. And I think it's just called power is all we have to do. Yeah. Save, exit. So when I restart the computer, automatically will run that power program. Why you not restart? Control R. Oh, I'm hitting E. That's probably why. Control E doesn't work. There we go. So restarting it automatically loads the power program. So when the server automatically reboots or whatever, this thing will start back up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll always have this big reactor running. So the next thing I could do at this point is shut down Wellington Towers. There's really no point in having that thing going. I did bring back all of the plutonium that we had. So we got 8,000 blocks here in this compacting drawer, which is pretty awesome. And I did fill it all the way up full of these emerald upgrade thing. Yeah, 71,000 plutonium ingots. This is crazy. And it's still not done yet. If we go back to, yeah, Wellington Towers, get ready for the lag. It's still not done yet. Like if we look at this thing here, you see that there is still, what is that, 53,000 buckets worth of the plutonium. And yeah, we just got another 1,000 of them in there. Oh man, the lag here is real. I gotta get out of here. No, click. Okay, yeah, the lag there is real, that's for sure. So anyway, we could probably turn off Wellington Towers, get rid of that whole lag machine and the Beef Wellington. And we could just run specifically off this big reactor. Now this thing is expandable, like I was talking about. If we ever find that 135,000 RF a tick is not enough, we can add another layer on this and, increase the power output by 1/3. So that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. Oh my goodness. Getting this reactor online, that is so awesome. This is going to allow us to start looking at some crazier RF tool dimensions and leave them running all the time. We won't have to shut them off. Yeah, power really won't be an issue anymore now that we have a dimension with unlimited plutonium, which means unlimited power. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.